Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the new classical music alphabet. And we're all the way up to the letter S. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. S is going to be quite something. I don't need to tell you. We may go around the alphabet 150 times and we'll still have S's we need to deal with. Because, boy, a lot of composers, really great composers, had last names that begin with the letter S. Some of you, by the way, have asked whatever happened to the letter Q. The answer is nothing. The letter Q is still there. There just aren't enough great composers worth talking about whose last names begin with the letter Q. Some of you thought it was very cute to mention quants. Yeah, okay, that's what I mean. There aren't enough great composers whose last names begin with the letter Q. So there is no Q. There may be another letter or two which doesn't exist. But, that's life. It's the way it goes. But we're up to the letter S, the three great S's. And all you can do is throw up your hands and go with it. So here we go. You ready? Franz Schubert, obviously, 1797 to 1828. One of the greatest songwriters who ever lived. Amazing in everything he attempted. He had a terribly, tragically short life. And if he had lived 10 minutes longer, he probably would have eclipsed everybody. Because that was the kind of composer he was. He was absolutely amazing. And the work that is, I think, characteristic and recording, which is fabulous thereof, is the string quintet in C major. He only wrote one of them, and it is one of the greatest pieces of chamber music by anybody for any reason ever, with Heinrich Schiff and the Alban Berg Quartett on Warner. Oh, what a glorious performance. Just listen to the scherzo. Listen to the way the strings bite, the way they imitate hunting horns. It's just, it's astonishing. So, Schubert has to be in there, I think. And after Schubert, well, we absolutely have to have the greatest composer that was ever birthed upon the British Isles or the Associated Isles. I mean, I'm never quite sure how people look at that area, but you know what I mean. We're talking about Great Britain, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, all the British stuff. And that composer, the greatest who ever trod upon that sceptered land, whatever you want to call it, Arthur Sullivan. Oh yes, Arthur Sullivan, the best, 1842 to 1900, just because he wrote comic operas and masterpieces, and like a dozen of them, a good pile of them, and lots of other really good music too. He wrote lovely orchestral music. He wrote beautiful other choral works. I'm not too sold on his big opera, Ivanhoe, although I love the story. But it's okay. It's growing on me. The fact of the matter is he had an amazing gift for orchestration, a stunning gift for melody, and an amazing feeling for setting text and creating atmosphere. He was just fabulous. And because he did comic opera, and he was in the Victorian era, whose slogan was Queen Victoria's "We are not amused," Sullivan was never going to get a fair deal. Never, least of all from the English. My God, who need composers who, are supposed to be serious and sublime and all that crap. No. But he was amazing. And my recording of choice is the Mikado. The Mikado is wonderful in so many ways because it is a parody of, first of all, Orientalism, the Orientalist fetish that possessed European music at the close of the 19th century, the beginning of the 20th. It is, of course, a parody of the British class system. It is full of some of the best tunes and some of the wittiest words and dialogue, by the way, by Gilbert. And let's not, leave W.S. Gilbert out of the equation there. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, I just, are you old enough to marry, do you think? Why not wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think that you're sufficiently decayed? Yeah, to which Catashaw and answers, to the subject that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed. Yeah, wow. Okay, modified rapture, as we say in the biz. So, yes, the Mikado, it's absolutely amazing. The D'Oyly Carte Opera Company with Royston Nash conducting on Decca. Oh, wow. What a joy from first note to last. And last but not least in the S's, Shostakovich. Because Shostakovich really has become the great 20th century symphonist. I don't think there's anybody whose reputation can touch his. At least as a symphonist and a composer of string quartets and other chamber works. He was amazing, a genius. But I think the reason that his music is so au courant is because it really does seem to express the emotional anguish and the extremes and paradoxes of, the history of Western civilization in the 20th century. I know that's saying a lot, but he really did encapsulate that realm of feeling, that the desperate yearning for happiness and beauty amidst unspeakable horror and atrocity. I mean, it really goes there. It takes you there, and ultimately offers a message of, I think, consolation and hope, or at the end of the 15th Symphony, bleak nothingness. But yeah, and the exemplar of that, I think, there is no better exemplar of that than his 13th Symphony, Babi, which is just one of the most gut-wrenching and powerful and moving and intense musical experiences that you can ever put yourself through, and enjoy doing so. And the recording is the one with the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra with various soloist choir and whatnot under Bernard Haitink, where they just play with 110% commitment, gorgeously recorded, fabulously well sung. It's an amazing performance of an astounding work. The poetry is by Yevtushenko, and it is about the horrors of contemporary life and the ability of the artist and of people of goodwill and good character to somehow win through to peace, to a resolution. It just reduces me to a quivering heap of protoplasm every time I hear it. And wow. So those are my three S's. You are entitled to use any of my three S's if you want, but three of your own, I mean, there's no shortage. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.